What do you guys think about reparations? Should there be reparations for black people? You guys are black, right? Just checking.
I'm Somali. Yeah.
What was it? Wait, do that again. What was that? Was that?
Now, besides her little raccooning that she's doing right now, did you notice that he said, "You guys are black, right?" And the first thing out of her mouth is, "I'm Somali," and then she starts raccooning for this dude. Okay, this is what FBAs are talking about. You see what I'm saying? This is what we're talking about. You're sitting here. This man asks you a question about reparations, and then he points out, he says, "Hey, you're black, right?" And you immediately you delineate and you say, "I'm Somali," and then you do your little whatever the hell that was. You see what I'm saying? These people have been delineating. They've been delineating, and then they cry when we say, "Hey, we delineating too." Everybody cries foul because they want to be able to use our blackness when it's appropriate for them to switch in and out. Like perfect example is Ilhan Omar. Now you got the Somali community. Everybody knows that they all say they're not black. Most of them, most of the Somalis I see, they always say they're not black, right? They're Somali. They're not black. They're Somali. But now, because Ilhan Omar is under fire, she's running around talking about, oh, the Trump administration is being racist. They're just targeting the black woman. Oh, you're not black, though. You people say you're not black. When people ask you, are you black? You people say, no, you're Somali. So you try to use our historical pain and suffering and our historical fight and everything we fought for and everything we fought to get through and the bills and laws we fought to get passed. Y'all turn around and try to use it to your advantage, but y'all don't want to be one with us because whenever people ask you, are you black? You say, no, you're Somali. You see what I'm saying? They whenever we ask them or they're asked, "Are you black?" They make sure to delineate and let everybody know. No, they're not black. They're Somali or wherever they like to say they from. You see what I'm saying? But when we say, "Hey, yeah, you know what? No, we're not African." So we're taking the African out of our name. We're foundational Black American. Everybody cries foul. Get out my face with that, man. You see what this woman just did? And this is what they've been doing for years. But when we do it, everybody cries foul. I'm not trying to hear that, man. I'm not trying to hear it. Let's continue on. Because this is embarrassing. This is sad. Not embarrassing for us. Embarrassing for y'all.
Was that like a war chant?
It's ululating.
Oh, okay. Sabrina Carpenter got in trouble
I
for
know.
that.
I was literally just thinking about her right now.
What about you? Reparations. Well, you're Ugandan, so I mean, do you get
wouldn't-
I don't think
wouldn't.
she's not like what they called FBAs.
Yeah, you have to like prove your back.
You guys know what that is?
history.
An FBA, Foundational Black American.
Foundational Black American.
So like you can trace your roots to Africans who came to the
I'm
U.S.
so happy I never had to do that.
back in the day. Reparations, yes or no?
And see, this is what we be talking about. Little sucker cheap shots like that. I'm so happy I never had to do it. Nobody asked you if you had to do it. It's not a. When he's talking about foundational Black Americans, you know exactly what we're talking about. We're talking about people who can trace their roots and their lineage back to the very beginnings of this country, to the very start of this country. You talking about, I'm so happy I never had to do that. No, you never had to do it because you ain't from this country. You know what I'm saying? You from the same people that was selling your own people, selling other Africans to Europeans. You from those lineages. You know what I'm saying? But you want to sit here talking about, I'm so happy I never had to do that. No, you didn't have to do that. What your people was doing was selling your own people to Europeans. So no, you didn't have to trace your lineage back because you come from a line of people who sold your damn people into slavery. I mean, like, this is what FBAs be talking about when we talk about this tether stuff, man. No, just because you're African doesn't make you a tether. No, just because you're Caribbean does not make you a tether. But when you go against the grain, you come over here and then you go against us like these two, that's what makes you a tether. You sitting here all smiling and googly eyed in this white T man face while you go against us, that's what makes you a tether. Let's continue on.
I believe that, like, what type of reparations? Like, what is?
Teeth kick, yeah. What? Oh, just you're black. Here you go. Here's some money.
There's the money.
Now you see how disingenuous that was? Oh, you're black, here you go, here's some money. But you just said foundational black Americans, so you know what foundational black American is. You just said it yourself. People who can trace their their lineage back to when Africans came here, when Africans were brung here, and at the start of the country. So you know what it is. So why would you sit here and say some generalized bullshit like, oh, you're black, here you go? You know that's not what it is. You just contradicted yourself. He just proved that he knows what foundational black American is, and then he contradicts himself and say, oh yeah, you're black, here you go, knowing that's not the argument, knowing that we're not saying just give it to every black person, every black person on the planet, just give it to them. You know that's not what we're saying. That shows you how ingenuous this dude is. And honestly, if you pay attention to this dude, my personal opinion, he's a bit of a creep. You know what I'm saying? You pay attention to this dude, his mannerisms, the things he does, the way he treats the women on his show. Because I watched this show a few times, and I stopped watching because I said, this dude right here he's a little weird, ain't he? Type of dude that keep dolls in his closet or something, and like to chase women around and do things to him. You know what I'm saying? That's the vibe I get from him. You know what I'm saying? So he just deliberately sat up there and contradicted himself by telling that lie, knowing damn well that's not what our reparation argument is. Pathetic, man. And then look at her. Listen to this chick. This is pathetic. I mean, this is what a tether is. This is why we don't want nobody who's not black American speaking on foundational black American reparations. Don't speak on our reparations if you're not black American. Because y'all come saying stupid stuff like what she's about to say.
For
having
historical
slaves.
injustices.
I think that that's like saying, should white people today be punished for slavery in America?
That's not what that's like saying. You see what I'm saying? You see why we can't? This is tether activity. This is why we don't want certain people speaking for us. If you're not foundational black American, you should not be speaking for our reparations claim. Because then y'all come over and say stupid shit like this. He shouldn't even be asking them about no reparations claim. Ain't none of them black Americans, so why you even asking them? Listen to this pathetic thing she's talking. Yo, families that benefited from slavery, they ain't turned around and gave that money up. They ain't turned around and gave none of that wealth that their families generated up. These companies that benefited and got started during slavery, all these Wall Street companies that was, making big bucks during slavery, they ain't turned around and gave none of that money up. This is pathetic, man. It really is.
I think that's kind of very similar. You can't give someone reparations for something. But at the same.
Yes, you can give us reparations for something that happened to our ancestors, and there's a historical debt that is owed. Yes, you can give us reparations. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Trump done sat up here and turned around and gave his base, gave the people who rioted in January 6th, he done turned around and is over here trying to give them reparations. So he's proven in broad day that it can be done, and he's making the Democrats look pathetic, and he's really doing it low key to say, hey, black Americans, don't let up on the Democrats. Don't let up on them. Don't let up on them. That's what he's saying. He's saying, like, look, don't let up on them, because this shows y'all that this can be done, and they just don't want to give y'all anything. He's showing us that it can be done. He's literally showing us. So this is why you don't have non-FBA speaking for FBA matters like reparations. Get the hell out of here, man. This is pathetic. She's up here caping for this white T man the whole time, googly eyed in this white T man face like she trying to get with him. And then notice how she tries to say whatever she thinks is gonna please him. Pay attention to her.
Same time, society does the way that society is catered to people of privilege, which is not measured by race. I do think, however, it mostly contains non-white.
Do
That made absolutely no sense. Listen to this. Listen to this again. Listen to what she just said. It made absolutely no sense. Listen to this.
However, which is not measured by race. I do think, however, it mostly contains non-white.
do any of the
What does that, how does that conclude? Should we get reparations or not? That doesn't make any sense what she just said. Listen to this again. Hold on. You get the full context, man. This is crazy. This made no sense.
For something very similar, you can't give someone reparations for something. But at the same time, society does, the way that society is catered to people of privilege, which is not measured by race. I do think, however, it mostly contains non-white.
do any of the
That made absolutely no sense. And I want to touch on something she said while she was making no sense.
Where it mostly contains non-white. I do to people of privilege, which is not measured. Society is catered to people of privilege, which is not measured by race.
Society is catered to people of privilege, which is not measured by race. Are you kidding me? See, this is the raccoonery that we be talking about. This is the tethery, the tethering type of treacherousness that we be talking about. You try to sit up here and act like there's no white tea privilege when we can clearly see all across America there's such thing as white tea privilege. She gonna really sit here and try to say just to try to please him. You know what I'm saying? Sitting here, look at how she was carefully crafting her words just to try to please him. And she's gonna sit up here and say there's really no white tea privilege. Basically, it's not privilege. People who get privilege is not based off race. Yeah, like, are you kidding me? You see what I'm saying? This is why we don't like tethers speaking for us. And she is very much a tether. You know what I'm saying? That's very much tether activity. You up here googly eyed in this man's face, and now you up here talking about basically saying there's no such thing as white tea privilege, as if we didn't see Kyle Rittenhouse hit people up and then walk away scot free after he done planned to go out there and go out there hit up multiple people, and now he walks away scot free. There ain't no white tea privilege though, according to this tether. This is why the FBA, Foundational Black American Movement, is going so strong right now, because we are tired of you tethers and all of you people coming amongst our midst and being on some straight up just traitor type, treacherous type stuff. Now we know we do have rides, and we invite y'all to come ride with us. If you're gonna ride with us, ride with us. We gonna ride with you too. But these tethers, we gotta get these tethers out of our mix, and that's why we are not fighting for y'all when ICE comes and scoop y'all up, because y'all need to go. Y'all tethers need to go. But yeah, fam, this is what we talk about when we say, you know, when we talk about these tethers and we say, black man, you have no friends, because when you look all around the world, when it comes to the black American man, it is almost as if it's everybody against us. You know what I'm saying? And that's why when John Henry Clark made that famous statement, he was 100% correct. Black man, you have no friends.